Welcome to Lesson 15, Products and Services and Inventory Tracking. To begin this lesson, go to the Quickbooks online demo account as discussed in Lesson 4. For the past few lessons, we have been focusing on money that you pay to vendors. Now we're going to switch gears and discuss income. Most businesses sell products or services, and to collect the money, they send invoices to customers. For example, when I provide training to iron workers like I am right now, I send an invoice. Well, as a union, your customers are your members, and union dues are a primary source of your income. But since International provides a system called IWITS for managing the details of your members and your due payments, you have no need to create and send invoices. However, you may have other reasons to generate a periodic invoice. For example, you may rent space in one of your buildings to another company, so you want to send them a monthly invoice. Or you may ask someone to sponsor a fundraiser. If you asked me to sponsor a hole for a golf tournament, I would agree and ask you to send me an invoice. In the next lesson, I will show you how to create an invoice and a sales receipt. But in this lesson, I am going to show you that before you can create an invoice or a sales receipt, QuickBooks Online requires you to add the products or services that you want to sell to something called the Products and Services List. The Products and Services List represents the list of products and or services that you sell, and once it exists, you will use it to create invoices, sales receipts, and manage inventory. Inventory? You might be thinking, Debbie, we aren't a store or a manufacturer. We don't have inventory. But many of you do. Some of you stock ironworker apparel, such as t-shirts or hats, that you both sell and give away for free. Some of you stock certain supplies needed by your members. For instance, 46L in New York stocks nippers, a tool I didn't know existed until a recent trip to their location. The problem is that many of you don't really have a system for tracking this inventory. So if a few shirts or hats or nippers disappear, you might not know it, and that's not good. So let's examine the proper way to add your products and services to QuickBooks Online and how to track your inventory. To create your products and services list, go to the navigation bar and select Sales, Products and Services. You can also get to this area by selecting the gear icon in the upper right and selecting Products and Services from the Lists column. If you scroll through the current list in the Play account, you will see a mix of physical products, such as fountains and sprinkler heads, and non-physical services, such as design and installation. And these are sold by Craig's Landscaping. We're going to add a couple of items that might be sold by you as an ironworkers union. Select New from the top right of the screen. Select the appropriate type. Now let's talk about these for a moment. Inventory includes physical items you sell that you want to count, like hats or t-shirts. Services are things you sell but can't count because they don't physically exist, such as rent. Non-inventory items are physical items that you don't care to count, like a box of batteries that people can grab when their mouse battery dies. It's a physical thing, but you may not need to track how many batteries are left in the box. And then bundles are collections of products that are sold as a unit. I doubt any of you will use the non-inventory and bundle types. However, you will likely use the inventory and service types. Let's pick service this time. I'm going to pretend that we rent one of our buildings to another company, and we need to send them a monthly invoice. To do that, I need to add this service to our list. The name will be Monthly Rent. This name must be unique, and it will display on your invoice. Now, no SKU is necessary. This is a unique number, like the number they scan at the grocery store. You can also create categories for your items if you're going to have many of them, but I'll skip that for this example. The description can be more detailed than the name. Perhaps the address of the property we rent to our tenant is 150 Saturn Lane, so we could put that in as our description. The monthly rate for this rental is $1,500. And finally, You want to categorize this income properly in your chart of accounts. In real life, you would probably have a specific income account called rental income, but in Craig's case, we'll put it under the income account called services. Select Save and Close. If you scroll down in the list, you will now see monthly rent as a service that you can add to an invoice or sales receipt. Now let's add a physical product. Select New from the top right of the screen. Let's pick Inventory this time. We will add our Union t-shirts. Now I want to track my specific sizes, so the name of this first product I'm adding will be Small T-shirt. Again, we don't sell enough items to need SKUs or categories, so we'll skip those fields. Now I have an opportunity to count and enter the number of small t-shirts I have on hand. I will say that I have 15 on hand as of June 10th, 2020. And if I get down to 5 small t-shirts, I want to be reminded to order them. Next, pick the asset account for inventory, in this case, inventory asset. Further down, when I sell a shirt, I charge a price of $25, and that income should go to the income account called Sales of Product Income. By the way, in real life, your new standardized chart of accounts has an income account, number 1394400, called Sale of Member Supplies, Clothing, Logos, etc., and that's what you would want to use. At the bottom of this dialog box, we can keep track of how much the small t-shirts cost us, the category we use when we purchase them, and our preferred vendor. I will enter $10, cost of goods sold, and Lee Advertising as the vendor. Select Save and Close. Notice that small t-shirt is now in the list, and you can see how many you have in inventory at a glance. You would now add medium, large, and extra large t-shirts, and you would have an up-to-date inventory count of all the physical products you sell. Now you know how to add products and services to QuickBooks Online. So in the next lesson, I will teach you how to properly sell these items by creating invoices and sales receipts, and then you will fully understand the value of what you just learned.